What up, guys? I'm back with another video. I'm here to talk about Michael Jackson's masterpiece, Off the Wall, was released of August 10th, 1979. And this is his fifth record right here. And it was released through Epic Records 47 years ago. And it was his first album released through that record label. And it was produced by Quincy Jones, whom he had previously collaborated with while working on the 1978 movie The Wiz. And that's a classic too. And the soundtrack is a classic as well. Off the Wall was crafted from disco and pop and funk ballads. Disco, pop, funk, R&B, soft rock, and Broadway ballads. And its lyrical themes included escapism, liberty, hedonism, and romance. And the album features songwriting contributions from Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney and Rob Temperton and Tom Bahler and David Foster, alongside 3 tracks penned by Jackson himself. And before the recording of his next album, he had desired to create a record showcasing creative freedom and individualism for the first time. Off the Wall was widely branded as a reintroduction for him, and it became his highest charting on the Billboard Top LP and Tape chart, and staying in the top 10 over 8 months. And it was also #1 on the top Black Albums chart for 16 weeks, and it was the best-selling record of 1980 in the US. And the album has retrospectively been hailed as a landmark release of the disco era. And 5 singles were released from this album, which were Billboard Hot 100 #1 singles. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, definitely a classic. And of course, Rock With You and Off the Wall, you already know, that's the title track, and She's Out of My Life, and were top 10 hits. That this made Jackson the first solo artist to have 4 top 10 hits on the Hot 100 from one album. And the album was controversially nominated for just 2 Grammy Awards, with Jackson winning the Best R&B Vocal Performance Male for Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, and it won Favorite Soul R&B Album at both the 1980 and 81 American Music Awards. And the record had received widespread critical acclaim, with it being credited as a significant departure from Jackson's previous work with Motown, and hailed it as a major breakthrough for him. And it sold over 20 million copies worldwide, making it as one of the best-selling albums of all time. And 2025, it was certified diamond by the Recording Industry Association of America, and it continues to be lauded as one of the greatest albums in popular music, and which it still is to this day. With some critics praising it as Jackson's magnum opus in 2008, and it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. And then between 1972 and 75, Michael had released a total of 4 solo studio albums of Motown, which you already know: Ben, Got to Be There, Music and Me, and Forever Michael. And these were released as part of the Jackson 5 franchise and produced successful singles such as Got to Be There, Ben, and a remake of Bobby Day's Rockin' Robin. And the Jackson 5 sales, however, began declining in 1973, and then the band members chafed it under Motown's strict refusal to allow them creative control or input at the time. And although the groups scored several 40 hits, including the top 5 disco single, Dancing Machine, and then the top 20 hit, I Am Love, and the Jackson 5 minus Jermaine Jackson left Motown in 75, and the Jackson 5 signed a new contract with CBS Records in June of 75, first joining the Philadelphia International Records Division and then Epic Records as a result of legal proceedings, and the group was renamed the Jacksons. And after the name change, the band continued to tour internationally, releasing 5 more studio albums between 76 and 84, which includes their self-titled 11th album, Going Places, Destiny, Triumph, and Victory, as well as a live concert album in 1981. And during that era, Michael was not the only lead singer, but also the chief and songwriter for the group, writing and co-writing such hits as Shake Your Body Down to the Ground, This Place Hotel, and Can You Feel It, which are all classics. So in 1978, Jackson had starred as Scarecrow, the film of the musical movie The Wiz, and the musical scores were arranged by Quincy Jones, and who formed a partnership with Mr. Jackson himself during the film's production, and agreed to produce the singer's solo album of Off the Wall. And he was dedicated to the role and watched videotapes of gazelles, cheetahs, and panthers in order to learn the graceful movements for the part of the movie. And Jones had recalled working with Jackson as one of his favorite experiences from The Wiz, and spoke of Jackson's dedication to his role. He highly spoke of his role. And the rest is history about that. So more history about this album right here. While Jackson was doing other stuff and all that, and so forth, he began the Off the Wall project. He was not sure of what he wanted as the final result. However, he did want another record that sounded like the Jacksons. He did not want another record. He did not want another record that just sounded like the Jacksons, but rather he wanted to be more creative, freedom, something he had not been allowed on his prior albums. So Jackson's father, Joseph, also approved of the project and allowed him to record it on the condition that it did not interfere with the group business. Despite his brother's desire to work with him, Jackson wanted to make the album independently of his own family. Nevertheless, his brother Randy still contributed percussion to Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. And then Jones had produced the record here, and with co-production credit given to Jackson on the songs he wrote for the album. And then songwriters that include with Jackson, Heatwaves, Rod Temperton, Stevie Wonder, and Paul McCartney. All sessions had took place at LA County's base recording studios, with recording taking place between December 4th of 78 and June 3rd of 1979 at the time. Rhythm tracks and vocals were recorded at Alan Zent's recording studios with recording the horn section contributions took place at Westlake Audio, and street instrumentation was recorded at Cherokee Studios in West Hollywood. Following the initial sessions, audio mixing was handled by Grammy-winning engineer Bruce Sweden at Westlake Studio, and after which the original tapes went to the A&M recording studio, also located in LA, for mastering. Sweden would later mix the recording sessions for Jackson's next album, his most well-known work of 1982's other best-selling album, Thriller. So Jones had recalled that at first he found Jackson to be very introverted and shy and non-assertive, which he was at the time. But it's all right. Michael was just doing his thing, He's still a legend in my book forever. No doubt about it. And more to it, She's Out of My Life has been written for Jones by Tom Bahler 3 years earlier, but Jackson heard it and he enjoyed it, and which Jones allowed him to use it on the record. And then Jones called in Heatwaves keyboardist Rod Temperton to write 3 songs. The intention was for Jackson and Jones to select one of his songs, but Jackson, liking them all, included all of them in the final cut. And then he stayed up all night to learn the lyrics to these songs. Instead of singing from a sheet, he finished the vocals to these 3 Temperton songs in 2 recording sessions. Temperton took a different approach to his songwriting after spending some time researching the background of Michael's music style. And then Temperton had mixed his traditional harmony segments with the idea of adding shorter notes, melodies to suit Jackson's aggressive style. And Jackson had wrote Don't Stop Till You Get Enough after humming a melody in his kitchen. And after listening to hundreds of songs, Jackson and Jones decided upon a batch to record. And hindsight, Mr. Jones believed they took a lot of risk in this production of the Off the Wall and the final choice of the album tracks. And music critics Stephen Thomas Erlewine and Stephen Holden of AllMusic had observed about the record was crafted from R&B and funk and disco pop and soft rock and soul and Broadway ballads. And prominent examples include the ballad She's Out of My Life, the funk tune Working Day and Night, and the disco song Get on the Floor. I Can't Help It is a jazz piece. And Quincy Jones, and said in his autobiography, compares Jackson to other jazz singers, noting that Jackson has some of the same qualities as the great jazz singers I've worked with: Ella Fitzgerald, Sinatra, Sassy, Aretha, Ray Charles, and Dinah. Just so much, man. So much that Quincy Jones had mentioned about for Michael. Just a lot, man. And this record will always be a classic, and no doubt about it. And more history about this, too, is that nobody could ever duplicate a record like this in a lifetime. Nobody can. Nobody. I mean, no one. I mean, shoot. You could love Michael's records, but you can't be Michael. Let's just be real about that. This is definitely a best top-selling album forever. Just like his previous other works, too. Those are top classics, too. This is another one. I'll show y'all the LP. Check this out. Ooh, look at that. Gatefolded. Super incredible. Phenomenal. This is actually one of my favorite records by Michael. Just puts me in that vibe, man. I just want to vibe to this record. Even when I'm playing basketball. And I'm still all about my basketball work. I still am when I play. And shoot, I could vibe to Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. Trust me. Who doesn't want to vibe to it? Shoot, I want to. I want to so bad to vibe to this record. Play it all day. Shoot, for being released 20 million copies worldwide, and it gained platinum certifications in 11 other countries. Oh, heck yeah. This is a world top selling record. And if y'all love Michael Jackson's records, I hope y'all have this record in your collection. I hope y'all have it. And to let y'all know, this is a reissue. I did buy it as a reissue at Barnes & Noble because my previous copy, the OG copy, it was scratched. I was disappointed. I really wanted to keep the OG copy. I really did. But it just stinks that it had it like skip. So that was upsetting. What's your favorite song off this classic right here, this masterpiece? Don't forget to hit that like and sub and comment and follow your boy for more. I will be gladly to return to the next one. Y'all have a blessed one and stay safe and keep bumping this classic by Michael, y'all. Peace.